We've got a Game Week 17 review, we're talking Everton in a hot topic, and we've got Christian Pulisic in transfer talk. This is episode 7. Let's go!
Game Week Review.
Game Week 17, 68 points. And I tell you what, I think the game can be summed up by two men over 40% owned, Kevin De Bruyne and John Lundstrom. Some people have both, like me, some have one, some have none. Unlucky if you've got neither, that's a red arrow. For me, it's a small green arrow, 50k. Vardy captain, 11 points for Lundstrom, 19 for De Bruyne. A few other bits here and there, but King Kev leading the way. People were looking at taking him out, moving him to Son. A lot of people did that move. Tell you what, underlying stats don't lie. Last 4 game weeks, Kevin De Bruyne has had more goal attempts than any other player, and he's created more chances than any other player. The haul was incoming, it's come, and I tell you what, there's more coming too. Now, we look forward to next game week, and I tell you what, it's looking tricky, isn't it? Lots of hard fixtures. Transfer plan is going to be key, so the rest of this episode is dedicated to that. Listen out for the hot topic next. Let's go. So hot topic time, and this week I want to talk a team that I don't think I've even talked about yet. I don't know any of their assets, but it is this team, Everton. As you can see from the highlighted graphic, their fixtures coming up are pretty decent. They've played 2 tough fixtures under Big Dunk so far. They got a win against Chelsea, and then they got a draw at Old Trafford. So 2 tough games, 2 good results, and now their fixtures turned remarkably well. So they've got Arsenal at home next. Arsenal looks like a red, but it's not, is it? It's a lot easier. Followed by Burnley, Newcastle, City away, just bench your asset that week, whatever. And then Brighton and West Ham. So yeah, great run of games coming up over Christmas. So let's have a look at their players. So this is the table I want to show. So it's ordered by chances created, and this is just for the last 2 game weeks. So this is only the games when Big Dunk has been in control. And so the top chances created of any player is Sidibe. Now his ownership is tiny, but he's playing right wing back for them. He's bombing up and down. 3 chances created in the Chelsea and Man United game combined. And he's top more than Luca Digne, who's always at the top of these graphics, usually because he's on free kicks and corners. So he could be one to think about. Only 5.3 as a defender, not bad at all. So that's the chances created. Same table by goal attempts, and look at the top there, number 9, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Super differential again for obvious reasons. I mean, most of these players are going to be, but 9 goal attempts. Now if you look, second on the list is Walcott with 3. Triple the amount of goal attempts Calvert-Lewin has had over his next, like the nearest person. So that's massive. He's obviously vastly improved under Ferguson. In fact, in his post-match interview yesterday at Old Trafford, he said how much he's enjoying working under Duncan Ferguson. Obviously, we can see he's had marked improvements. So the forward slots are tough to get into because, you know, we've all got Rashford, Vardy, Jimenez, Ings. You know, there's a lot of positions up there that we don't really want to be taking out our players. Perhaps Abraham could be one. But yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin could be a huge differential. And then finally, I'm just going to order this same graphic by expected goal involvement. So that is the expected goals and assists combined over the last 2. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin's up there again, the amount of shots. He's also scored a couple of goals. Followed by Richarlison. Now, Richarlison is at a nice cost. I want to talk about him because his cost is 7.8, which is very similar to a disappointing Mr. Captain America at Chelsea, Pulisic. So he could be, I could see a lot of people moving from Pulisic to Richarlison this week. He's performing well, so he could be a very good attacking option. Obviously he's down as a midfielder, but pretty much plays as a striker at Everton as well. So you've got Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Sidibe, and there's one more player I want to mention. 0.1% ownership in the game. And if you go about 3/4 of the way down the screen, you'll see Mason Holgate. Now, he's not up there for shots, assists, or anything else like that, but he's played every minute for about the last 8 game weeks now, and his price is just 4.4 in defence, just 4.4. So if you take, I don't know, a £6.5 million, some people are looking at moving on maybe Robbo and Trent with their blank game now, and some tougher fixtures coming up for Liverpool, and they're not keeping clean sheets either, really. They shouldn't have done against Watford. But if you switch one of them out for Holgate, all of a sudden you've got £2.5 million to spend elsewhere, which is a massive improvement. That's a 5 million. You've kind of your fifth mid could then become Richarlison, for instance. So I just want to, a little shout out to Mason Holgate. He's definitely on my radar as a massive differential, but more as an enabler at just 4.4. So Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Sidibe, Holgate. That is the end of the hot topic.
Hey there, soccer fans. If you're enjoying this content, be sure to click the thumbs up and like the video. You could also say to your friends, hey man, did you watch those FPL videos on YouTube? And they'll be like, nope. And you're like, well, you should, because he's really, really cool.
This is a Saturday Fiver. The result.
Oh my gosh, who would have predicted those scores?
And that was the result of the Saturday Fiver. Thanks for watching.
This is Transfer Talk, the part of the show where we talk about an awful player who's just not performing, and we all want to get rid of him. And this week's show is brought to you in association with Christian Pulisic.
Right then, transfer talk time, guys, and as mentioned a moment ago, Christian Pulisic, you have not been performing and you are on the chopping block. So we're talking best Pulisic replacements here, and this graphic, I should say now, is capped. It's over the last 4 game weeks, but it's got a price cap on it of 9.5. So the likes of Son and KDB would obviously be very high up in these tables, but as I'm looking at Pulisic replacements, their prices are obviously a lot higher, so I didn't want to include them because I don't think it's a very fair comparison. So first off, we are looking just at goals, because what do we want from our midfielders? We want goals and assists, straight up. It's easy, isn't it? So I thought I'd try and keep this basic. Goals, assists. Over the last 4 game weeks, 3 players have scored 3 goals. Dele Alli, Richarlison, and John Joe Shelby. They're all different prices, them 3, so it depends on your budget and who you would like to get. Then maybe all 3 are viable, but for me I wouldn't be going Shelby. But Ali and Richarlison, there's a big argument for both of those players. The same graphic by assists, and Fornals pops up, but I wouldn't be going for West Ham personally. Dele Alli is there again, so 3 goals and 2 assists in the last 4 game weeks. Daniel James is up there. He's only 6.1, so that's going to give you an extra million in the bank. And Man United have got some great fixtures coming up, and Dan James does play every minute, so he could be a cheaper option if you are after a cheaper player to get an extra million for elsewhere. It all depends as well with transfers, how many you got in the bank, and if you want to use the money, and who you want to upgrade and what you want to do. Because I'm just going to take this once more for expected goal involvement, and Ali is up there again. And so for me, Ali's the one I'm bringing in. And so Ali to Pulisic, as we can see here, there's a 1.3. I've got to make 1.3 difference here. And I have got 2 free transfers. So if you've just got the 1, maybe Richarlison's the move, because they're a lot similar in price. Or, as we can see here, Jack Grealish, he's up there. He's cheaper. So there's a few 6 million options. Richarlison at a similar price if you do happen to have the extra 0.4 in the bank knocking about, or if you've got 2 free transfers like me, I'm going to be going to Pulisic, to Ali, and to make up that money I'm going to have to downgrade a defender, and I'm not deciding on who yet, but most likely it probably is going to be Trent to Holgate. My other option is to keep Trent benching this week and go from Tammy to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, that seems a bit too differential for me as well, because Everton are been so prolific in front of goal. But that could be an option. Could be an option. You never know. Going forwards, but it'll be one of those. So it'll be Holgate or Calvert-Lewin coming in, one of those two. But definitely Pulisic to Dele Alli is happening. So there are my transfers. That's transfer talk. I hope I've given a bit of insight there for you guys to say who you're going to be changing. Because if you haven't got Pulisic, maybe you've got Mount as well, and you might want to take him out. And so this table would still help. So there we go. Transfer talk over. And that is also the end of this week's review. So I'll be back in a few days, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Game Week 18 preview coming up Thursday or Friday. And yep, see you then. Cheers, guys. Ta-da.